a cable, so we're now not doing it wirelessly, we're doing it via the cable, so hopefully we won't have any problems today. Anyway, we have what I think is going to be an exciting lesson for you today, and I have with me a young man here named Daniel Pob, because I can't pronounce your surname. So say hello, Daniel, and tell us what your surname is.
Hey, my surname is Daniel Poberezovsky.
Okay. Is it okay if I call you Pob?
Yes.
Yes, because it's a bit of a mouthful. Anyway, Daniel's a very keen young man. I remember him from the camp down in Hobart. So let's see here. It says your rating's 825 and you go to Volkstone Primary. And how old are you?
9.
9. Okay, that's pretty good for 9. You're getting up towards junior master territory with a few more points. And just looking at your chart, you've gone up a couple of 100 points in the last 9 months or so. So that's good. You're improving quite a bit there. And you play heaps as well, looking at all those events you've played in. Okay, now, today, folks, we're going to try a couple of different things. I'm going to be using chess microbase for some of the lesson, so we'll see how that goes. But to start off, we have the position that I hope you've all been staring at. It's white to play, and I'm just going to have a little poll because I'm interested to see whether you guys think you would rather be white or you would rather be black. It's white to play. So let's have a little poll. You just got to put in white or black, and we'll see what the group thinks. So if you start your voting now, so far white is in the lead, quite sizably, but only half have voted. Black's catching up a little bit. And 91% have voted. Come on, 1 or 2 more to vote. All right, 100% voted. Excellent. All right, let's close the poll. Let's have a look. So 82% want to be white and 18% want to be black. Very interesting. All right, we'll keep that in the back of our mind because about 2/3 of the way through the lesson we'll get back to this position and have a look at it, and I'll comment on it then. Right, so now Daniel has sent me quite a few of his games. Put up there on Microbase, and I've played through them with interest. And I think there's a reason why Daniel loses all his games. A one-word reason. And I think that reason probably applies to all you guys as well. So I want you to have a think. What is the one-word reason why you lose most, if not all, of your games? And in the question, type in what that word is, and we'll see if we're in agreement. So like Lachlan's typed in attack. Joe's got impatience. Sam's got we don't develop, which is a very long one word. Raman's gone blunders. Bobby's gone blunder. Ryan's gone blunder. Speed, mistakes from Zoe. Blunders misspelt from William. Development from Evan. So we're getting a bit of a cross-section here. Speed, focus, blunders. All right, so there's a few thoughts. Now, Daniel, what do you think is the one-word reason why you lose most of your game?
Speed.
Speed. Tell me why speed loses you all your games.
Probably because you don't get time to look all around the board and you just focus on the clock more than the game.
And how does the speed impact on what's actually happening on the board?
You'd only really see 1 or 2 moves and just go with the best one you find.
Right, so you haven't got time to analyse all the moves you'd like to analyse, and that means that sometimes you don't make the best move. Is that what you're saying? All right, well, a few people agree. Mitch has got haste there and Thomas has got speed. I think the reason that you lose most of your games and everyone loses their games is because of blunders, which a lot of you agreed with. You have to be a pretty strong player not to make any fairly big blunders in your game. Say players even up to 17, 1800 would quite often blunder a piece or a few pawns or get mated in 3 or something horrible like that. So we're going to start off today by talking about blunders, because if you guys can work out a way to reduce the blunders in your games, you're going to win a lot more games, get lots of lovely rating points, and it's going to be great. Now, to start off with, I'm going to pick on poor old Zoe.
That's
Hello,
me.
Zoe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Don't sound so disappointed. It's not going to be that bad, Zoe. Now, I haven't got
Okay.
the right position on the board, have I? But you might recognise it being slightly familiar to a game you played recently.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to tell us what happened?
I could have done forced mate in a few moves, and I stuffed it up.
All right. So this was at the chess camp. You were playing black against William, and you chased his king all the way up there to A5. And it looks like you've probably got a checkmate in a few moves if you try hard and come up with the best line and everything.
Yeah.
All right. But you were in a bit of time trouble, weren't you?
Yeah.
Can you remember how much time you had left?
I think I was running down to about 30 seconds.
Okay. I think when I started watching, you had about a minute and a half, maybe a minute and a quarter, something like that for the game.
Oh, okay.
So you're in a bit of trouble, but you still, if you got mate in 3, it doesn't take that long. So
Yeah.
tell us what happened. What was your move in this position or this approximate position?
My queen took on C3.
You played queen takes C3. So you should have played queen A3 check and then rook B7 check or something like that perhaps. But you went queen C3 check and William started smiling a lot and he's got this sneaky queen hiding in the corner there that zoomed and then that was all terrible. He's swindled you back again. So you've made a huge blunder, as I've been saying. Question is, why do you think you made that blunder?
Because I didn't look through all the options because I didn't have enough time.
Right, so you were under pressure from the clock, so you perhaps didn't look at all the moves, but I mean it's only one move deep. You think, he's going to take me back, oh dear, that's no good. Is there any other reason why you might have missed that his queen was defending that pawn?
Well, I guess I just didn't look through it at all, really. I just thought it looked good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your contribution there, Zoe. Right. I'd like to make a suggestion about one of the reasons why we blunder. Because if we can work out why we blunder, then we can take steps to stop it. Okay. So I think in this position, Zoe was obviously focusing on the queen side and chasing William's king around and should she check there or whatever. So her eyes were looking very much in White's bottom left-hand corner on the queen side. So she didn't really look at the whole board. So White's queen is tucked away in a really unusual spot there on H8. So it's quite possible that Zoe, sort of not looking at the whole board, was focusing on a part of the board and she missed the queen was protecting it. Okay, so that's one little problem. Not looking at the whole board. So we'll come up with a solution in a minute. So let's have a look at another position. I can find it here. All right, now, I haven't got this position exactly right, but I think I've got the gist of it. So there was a famous game, Petrosian was playing White against some other grandmaster, and they had the position like this. Now, Petrosian, of course, is a former world champion, a really, really strong player, very rarely lost. So for him to make a blunder is sort of like 1 in a million shot. Anyway, so he was analysing what's he going to do as White. So he thought to himself, okay, I'm going to swap rooks. He'll take me back. And then he was thinking. So he was tossing up. Should I maybe play knight e4? And then I've got this nice check on f6. Looks pretty good. Or he's thinking maybe I'll play bishop h6. And then I've got maybe discovered knight sacrifice somewhere and my queen jumps into g7 and it's mate. And that might be a really strong attack. So we have this position. And Petrosian was analysing, should he play knight e4, should he play bishop h6? Couldn't decide. Eventually made up his mind. He said, okay, I've decided I'm going to play bishop h6 variation. So what move do you think he played in this position? He played bishop h6. And his opponent said, yippee! Back rank checkmate against the world champion, you beauty. So that was a shocking blunder. So why do you reckon Petrosian made that blunder? Let's see if we can get someone to give us their thoughts. What about Joe? You there, Joe?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, all right. Did you see all that with the bishop h6 and then he got back rank mated?
Yes.
So the question I'm wondering, why do you reckon Petrosian forgot that his rook on e1 was attacked?
Because he found it obvious to take the rook, but then he was thinking about the next move and he forgot the first
so his brain was off in the future, analysing what's happening in the future, and he forgot that he first had to play rook takes rook check. Very good, thank you, Joe. All right, so that happens quite a lot, that when you're analysing in the future. Okay, so when your brain comes to make the move, maybe your brain's still halfway in the future and you misplace where the pieces are in your mind and you make a big mistake. So what I'm suggesting is a good idea for you guys, particularly if you've got a slower time control. 15 minutes is fair enough, but if you're like in the Vic Junior, you've got an hour or something, you should have heaps of time. When you've decided on your move, I generally say to you guys, check what your opponent's going to reply, but just what if instead you counted to 5? So you've decided on your move, so you think, okay, I'm Petrosian, I'm playing bishop h6, and then you sit on your hands and you have a good look around the board and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in doing that, your brain is looking at the whole board, so you won't have Zoe's problem where you miss a queen hidden in the corner, and also it's bringing you back to the real position that you've got here, not some analysis position 2 or 3 moves ahead. So if you just spend that 5 seconds, Petrosian would have had a look around and think, oh my God, I've forgotten to play rook takes rook check, I better do that first. So that's my suggestion for the day for you guys, particularly if you're playing in the RJ Shield on Sunday or something like that, or your next tournament. Just try it for a bit. Just stop every move, unless it's a really obvious recapture or something, and count to 5 and have a quick look around and see if that can prevent some of your blunders. All right, let's have a look at our next game. Actually, we won't go there. We might go to, where are we? No, not that one. Sorry, I'm just manoeuvring around the windows here. I'm trying to find chess microbase, wherever I put it. There we are. All right. Now I've been blundered here a lot, yes. So as I said, I've played through your games and a lot of them are blundering type games. So let's have a look and see what else we can learn about Daniel's play. So you were playing young Harry here. This was on the camp, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. You were white. So off we go. And it was a Sicilian defense. You played the bishop b5 line. And you chopped his horse. Now, do you remember what you played in this position? No cheating and looking at the move list.
I played knight e5.
You played knight e5, right? Tell me about knight e5. Why do you want to play knight e5?
To have a little more center control and hitting the weak spot.
Okay. Is it disobeying any rule that we have?
Yes.
What rule is it disobeying?
Moving your pieces twice in the opening. Right,
so you've been very naughty and you've moved a piece twice in the opening. So normally you have to have a good reason to disobey the rule, like an exception. Maybe you're winning his queen or you've got some really good reason. So is there some opportunity you're missing here if you don't move that piece twice or what? Not really?
Could have done d4 instead to try and get the bishop out.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's have a chat to Rebecca. You there, Rebecca?
Yes.
All right, so tell Daniel about knight e5, whether that's a good move or a bad move and why.
I don't think it's a really good move because it can easily be shooed away by like d6 or maybe.
Okay. Daniel says he wants to attack weak spots like f7 and stuff like that. Is that a good reason? And control the center.
Well, it will maybe when it's like a bit later in the game, but now it's
yeah, there's no sort of follow-up, is there? Yeah,
Not
so
really.
It's not like you've got a bishop attacking that pawn as well or a queen attacking. So that probably was a very strange move. So, firstly, we're disobeying the rule moving piece twice. The other thing is about attacking. I always say you're meant to build up, make your king safe, then you build up your attack, so you're like trying to attack too early because you've only got one piece developed. Now let's have a quick look at what happened. So Harry moved rook there for some reason, Newcastle, which is good, and then Harry, would you believe, made a blunder. And you ripped in here and won a pawn on the exchange. I'm going to go fairly quickly through this till we get to the main point. So we're playing a few developing moves here. And you're the exchange up, so that's good, exchanging a pawn. I'm not sure why Harry played a6, that doesn't seem terribly relevant to me. Now, all right, can you remember this position and what you might have played here, Daniel? He just moved knight d7. And you've got your king safe, you've got a bit of control of the centre, you've got your pieces developed, your rook's connected. You remember what move you played?
I think I went queen f2.
All right, so tell me why you went queen f2.
I was thinking of giving away that pawn, but after his knight took, he was defending the weak spot.
So queen f2, you wanted to take on f7? Was that the idea? Okay. All right, so this is an attacking move. All right. So the question is, though, can he get out of the attack? Is it a good attack or is it a bad attack?
An okay attack.
It's an okay attack. So let's say he just castled. Have you still got an attack? Or has he defended the weak point and you can't get through?
Not really, but I pick up pawn then.
You could pick up the e7 pawn and stuff. All right, what if he just played rook f8, say? That would defend the attack, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Or even worse, he could play knight takes e5, defend the and picking up a pawn himself.
And then
All right, now hang on. This is confession time here. So what move did you now play?
takes f7.
Queen takes f7. So what do you reckon that is? It's a big blunder. All right. So why did our brain say to us we're going to play queen takes f7?
Because we were still in the future.
Well, we're not pressed for time, so you haven't got time as an excuse, and it's still early in the game. So why would you think queen f7?
Because I was forgetting about his reply and...
So you were looking at what you wanted to do, you didn't really ask yourself what's he going to reply?
And also I was just too focused on that one main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So you like attacking and threatening and stuff, but probably your checking is not as good as it could be. All right. So the game was dragged on for a bit, and we don't know what happened because the score sheet disappears, but I'm presuming that Daniel might have lost. So that was a big blunder. So this game was decided by blunder.
Drew.
You actually got a draw, did you?
Yeah,
right.
he accidentally offered a draw.
He accidentally offered a draw?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a bad move.
He had about like 8 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay.
Until
Oh, well, you had a lucky way out then. All right, let's go and look at some other of your games. Now we're going to look at Mitch for this game. Okay, so Daniel is black. Now, let me think. Here we go. Whoops. Hang on. Press the right button and will be a help. Starts off like this. All right, now, there's a funny thing about Daniel. I must tell you a story. When Daniel was getting coached and learning how to play, you know how your coach tells you the value of the pieces? The queen is worth 9, the rook is worth 5, and stuff like that. Well, Daniel didn't have a very good coach, and his coach said to Daniel, you know, Daniel, the bishop's worth 3, but those knights, they're really good. They're worth 4. They're worth more than a knight. So Daniel, he loves getting rid of those knights. So he's chopped off one of those knights there. No smiling. And the game continues a bit more. And then his next plan, look, he's got it again. Bishop g4. And the poor fool, he's lost his other knight. So you've chopped both his knights. Yes. Tell me what's going on here.
I was trying to prevent him from casting both sides, and also make it tricky for his queen to get out.
Okay. It's not that you hate knights and you like chopping them off, or?
I like knights a bit, but...
Okay. All right. Well, let's develop this theme a little further. So the game plodded on, but the main thing was Daniel chopped those two knights. Let's have a look against Yoni. Here we go. So you are white in this game. Actually, I'll cover up the moves a bit here. So Rai Lopez. All right. Do you remember what you played in this position?
Take the knight.
You took the knight. All right. Tell me why you want to take that knight.
I like the exchange variation more, and I know it more.
But this isn't the exchange variation because he hasn't played a6. The exchange variation is where he plays a6 instead of knight f6. So why do you want to chop that knight? Because it's worth 4 points, or because you hate knights, or?
Yeah, I kind of hate knights.
All right, let's get someone else's view. Evan. Evan, you there, mate? Hello,
yes.
Evan.
Yeah.
How you going?
Yeah. I'm good.
Right, Daniel's played bishop takes c6, chopping off that knight for his bishop. Do you think that was a good move?
Not really.
So explain to Daniel why that's not a good move.
Because you're not developing your pieces, and you're losing a piece that you've already developed.
Yep, so you're swapping pieces of equal value and you're losing time.
Yeah, you're
any
losing
other
time
reason?
doing it.
Any other reason you can think of?
No.
Not really? All right. Thanks for your help. Okay. Now, what I'm going to suggest to you, Daniel, is I think your plan is swapping pieces. You love swapping pieces. That's probably the master plan. And that's all very well when you're young, like sort of little Oliver or something. You see him play. He's always checking and swapping, and that's really cool. But as you get better, you only swap the pieces if it's to your advantage. So we're swapping bishop for knight, and we're losing a bit of time. Maybe we're doubling his pawns, but that's no big deal. But rather than taking it straight away, the rule is it's better to wait till he forces you to take. So like he plays a6 or something like that, because a6 isn't a real good developing move. So if you let black play another move and you take anyway, he's got in a really good developing move. If you wait till he plays a6, then you're not losing so much time because a6 isn't a great move. So you're taking sort of like too early. You should wait till he forces you, and then you decide whether you want to take or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, the game plotted on, and I think you won a pawn and whatever. So let's go back and look at another game against, who have we got here? Gabby. Look at this one. Okay, Daniel is white against Gabby. So here we go. It's a Rai Lopez again. Only she plays d6. So what do you reckon Daniel's going to play in this position?
Takes.
Bishop takes. Oh my God. All right. So it must be true. We've had at least 3 games here, and every game your bishop rushes out and takes the nearest knight as soon as possible. All right? But that's just losing control of the white squares and strengthening the center and stuff like that. So we have to think about not exchanging. That's not a good plan, and we only exchange when it's to our advantage, and we wait till they force the exchange on us. So that's a little bit of a flaw in the way it's played, but hopefully you'll know about that now, and we can remedy that. All right, now let's go back and look at, very quickly, at a slightly more exciting game against someone named C. Walker. Sounds like a strong opponent. Now, you were white here. So we will rip into the game. It's a Sicilian. Okay, bishop there. Okay. Why do you reckon that bishop's going there? Is that a good spot for it?
Yeah.
It's a developing move, and if you move the e-pawn, it might be pinned and stuff like that, so it might be a good spot. I don't know much about the theory of this variation, but that's probably all right. Carl went there. All right. Now, what do you reckon Daniel played in this position?
Dang.
I won't ask people to guess, but he played a shocking, shocking move. Now, tell me why that is a shocking, shocking move.
Because it just helps the bishop to come out and have a...
That bishop's a fantastic piece now, because it hasn't got a rival on the black squares, and it's on the best diagonal on the board. And you look at your centre pawn's on the white square, so it's not helping. So you're not really controlling any black squares. And you wasted time doing it. So you should have, at least, if you were going to take, waited till he played h6. All right, so let's see how Carl responds. So develop your bishop, he castles, you castle. See, now already you've got a problem, because his knight's attacking your knight on the black square. So you've either got to go backwards, wasting time, or you've got to take him, and that helps him reinforce his centre. The b-pawn comes into the centre a bit. Okay, but you put your queen on a black diagonal, that's good, so you're controlling a little bit of the black squares. Carl's going to hit you with d5. Okay, now, what move do you think you should play here?
Retreat my bishop.
Okay, so we've said what he was threatening, so what's he threatening?
Taking my bishop.
He's taking a bishop, all right. Do you like bishops?
No.
Not really, because you keep giving him up for knights, don't you? So, we hate bishops. So what are we going to do with this rotten bishop? We're giving up. So explain this to me. Why did we give up our bishop for 2 pawns?
Actually, I have no idea.
No idea. You didn't want to retreat it, or you just want to try and attack, or?
For some reason I thought there were bigger pieces, and
Okay, it's a bit inexplicable, isn't it? So,
yeah.
all right. So Carl had a bit of a swap off, and he grabbed your pawn down there as well. Now, Daniel, who likes swapping, what do you reckon Daniel would play here? I reckon he'd go check and take that other piece, even though black recaptures with a developing move. Now he's attacking your pawn. You reckon we should defend that pawn?
Yes.
Like rook d2 or something? So you want to attack him instead. So he grabs your free pawn. So what can we do? We're running out of bits. We'll hit him with f4. So Carl's going to come in and double rooks. Oh my God. 2 rooks on the second. That's going to be horrible. What can Daniel do? He can put his rook up there. Is that a good move?
Okay.
Okay.
Not really.
Even if black goes there? It's not the greatest move, is it? So you saw what Carl was threatening to double, and you saw a way out of it, but you didn't ask yourself again, what's he going to reply? So we've come up with a blunder, and our position has collapsed, and we sort of resign, and it's all horrible. Okay, so we're starting to get a bit of a feel for Daniel. So he likes swapping pieces. He likes trading bishops for knights, when he perhaps should wait till his bishop's attacked. And he's prone to making a few blunders. So we need to get him into that slow down, count to 5, check your move type situation. All right. Now we're going to go back and have a look. I'll get rid of the microphone face. It's asking me for software update. No, thank you. I'm going to go back and have a look at the position we started off with. File load game. I'll have this one. All right. Now, I have a question for all you guys. I want to ask you what you like to do as you're playing a game of chess. Sort of what are you trying to do? So, for instance, we've just said if we asked Daniel, what do you like doing in a game of chess? Daniel would say swapping off or taking those rotten knights or something like that. That's his master plan in a game of chess. Okay, if you ask Stephen Solomon, he'd probably say, well, I want to swap up all the pieces and get into an endgame because I love endgames and I crush people in the ending. So I want you to tell me and type in the question how you like to play your games. What do you like to do? It'll be one word or a couple of words. In about a microsecond, Max Phillips has written attack. Now, why am I not surprised by that? Well done, Max. So we know Max likes to attack. Kevin likes middle games. Thomas likes attacking. Evan likes being aggressive. William likes being defensive. Interesting, that's a bit different. Ryan's put checkmate. Well, we know you're trying to win the game or checkmate, so we can't really accept that. Joe likes open middle games. Callum likes developing his pieces. Mitch likes developing. Sam likes openings. And Max also likes ice cream. Well done, Max. Roman says wait till they make the something or other. Ryan likes having fun. Bobby says ha ha. Okay. All right. So there's lots of different results there because people like playing the game in different ways. So if Solomon's good at endings, that's what he should do. He should swap off getting the ending. That's fine. If Max likes attacking, that's fine, so long as the position is an attacking sort of position. So I want to show you guys a different way of playing chess and see if you can get a few ideas from this. Now I'm just going to rip through the start till we get up to the diagram position we had before. So the game went like this. It was a center counter, and we traded the white squared bishops. So make a note of that. We swapped off white squared bishops. Black looks like he's playing a pretty passive game, and white's got the center. We're nearly out of the opening. We have a bit of a swap off there. That goes queen there, knight there, rook there, and we reach the diagram position. Okay. So let's start off. We've found that 80, was it 82% or 80% or something people prefer to be white? I think that was about right. Okay. So I also asked you to think what move you would play as white. So type in on the question what move you would like to play as white. Sam's gone rook d2. Max has gone f3. Evan's gone c5. Mitch has gone d5. William rook f to e1. Kevin rook e1. Gee, we're getting lots of moves. Anyone else want to express a view of what move they'd like to play for white? Callum's gone rook e1. Bobby rook d2. Jason's gone b4. Looks like a pretty horrible move. Joe's gone king h1 and Lachlan's resigned. We've all got to do what we're good at, Lachlan, so if you're good at resigning, I'm all in favour of that. Okay. All right. So we need to analyse this position to see what's happening, and most people liked white. Who can I ask? We'll ask Max again. Oh, no. Can you talk to me, Max, or you don't have a microphone?
I have a microphone.
Excellent. You wouldn't talk to me last week, so I'm pleased you're talking this week. Right. Did you prefer white or black?
Black.
All right. So tell me why you prefer black. What do you like about black's position?
White doesn't have much activity. Like, they can't really do anything. Black has it all covered.
Right. And what's black doing?
Not really much, except it's white's turn, and black has a bit of expansion on the queen side. I mean black.
Okay. So basically they're both not doing much, and white's at a disadvantage because it's his turn to not do anything. All right. Thanks very much, Max. Okay. So, Daniel, did you preferred white? Was that right?
No.
You preferred black?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think about white's position for a start off?
It's not that bad, but he doesn't have too many options to do as well.
What's the good bits for white?
He's got quite a safe king.
Is king safe? What about the centre?
He's got good control of the centre, even though black can counter it.
Anything else? What's the bad bits?
As I said, he doesn't have as many options, and
what about his bishop? Has someone got a good bishop and someone got a bad bishop?
They're about the same.
They're about the same. So this big one on e3 that looks like a pawn bumping into its other pawn, wouldn't you say that was a bad bishop? Do you know about good and bad bishops?
Yes.
Yeah, so the good bishop is the one on opposite colour squares to his pawns. So I'd say here black's bishop's much better than white's bishop at the moment. That's not to say white couldn't play bishop f4 and improve his bishop. All right, and what did you like about black's position?
That he can preserve his options, and also he can make quite a few threats.
He can make some threat. What can he threaten?
He can try and do c5 and counter the center, maybe.
c5, or take it and be on your queen. Right. Who else could we ask? Well, let's leave it at that for the moment then. We've had a few views. Right, so let me explain this position to you. So white has a bit of control of the center with the 2 pawns. That's fine. So normally I say I should get 2 pawns side by side, and that gives you something to do in the middle game because the pawns can move forward and create open files or whatever. But here, black's got pawn to d5 covered because that's attacked 5 times by black. And if white was to play pawn to c5, as I think someone suggested, would that be a good move or a bad move? What do you think, Daniel?
It would weaken the
Yeah,
d4 pawn a bit.
Leave a dirty big hole in d5 where black could put a piece that would dominate the board and couldn't be shoved away. So black's strategy is like a holding strategy. He's got a pyramid formation with his pawns, except he hasn't got the top of the pyramid to pawn on d5. So his plan has been trying to build up to stop white playing d5. And he's got a slightly better bishop. Now, let's ask someone else. Who can we ask? Kevin. You there, Kevin? Say hello to Kevin.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, Kevin. Can you hear me? No? You're not going to talk to me. All right. I tried hard. We'll see if Lachlan's there. Lachlan, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Okay. If you were black, what sort of plan would you have here, or what would you like to do if you could?
Attack the center.
Attack the center. How would you attack the center? You can't play c5 or e5 because the pawn just takes it and your queen's attacked.
Yeah.
So how can you attack the center? No idea?
B5?
Yes, say something?
B5?
B5.
Yeah.
Very good. Well done. Thank you, Lachlan. I'll explain that in a second. All right. So remember, the key strategy in this position is all about the d5 square. So if white could, say, double his rooks, so like all those of you who played rook d2, maybe with the idea of rook d1, that I think is the obvious plan for white. So if white can push d5 with his rooks behind it, he's probably going to bust it all open and be okay. But if black can get rid of that pawn on c4, then he's got a dirty big hole on d5 where he can put his knight or a rook later on or something like that and dominate the board. So black's plan, if he could get that pawn up to b5, 2 pawns side by side, the a pawn and the b pawn, get rid of the c pawn out of the way, we'll be cooking with gas. So let's see what happened. So white retreated. Probably not the best move, but he was struggling to think of something to do. So, Daniel, what should black do now? I've just given it away, but what do you reckon black should do?
b5.
b5, yep. So if we can get that pawn, say pawn takes pawn back, then we've got that lovely d5 hole. But instead of that, white decided to push past. So as we just explained, that's not the best because black's got a nice hole on d5 now. All right, so I don't think I've mentioned yet, but I was playing black in this position. And while you guys said you like to attack, or Daniel likes swapping pieces or things like that, what I like to do is I like to put my pieces on good squares. Basically, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm trying to find a nice hole like d5. I can put my piece there. I'm trying to coordinate my pieces a bit. So, but throughout the game, I'm thinking, can I put my pieces on good squares? How can I improve the placement of my pieces? If he's got some good pieces, I want to swap them off or chase them away. Okay, so now I've given you my plot. You're going to pretend you're me, Daniel. You're trying to put your pieces on good squares and takes his pieces away. So what move would you want to play for black?
Maybe rook A to B8.
Rook A to B8. You guys can type it in if you like. What move would you like to play for black? Ryan's already had a couple of suggestions. Evan's gone knight D5. Bobby's gone B4. Joe's gone knight D5. Raman's knight D5 as well. Okay, it looks like it's between B4 and knight D5. So Daniel, you tell us which one you like.
Quite obvious, knight to D5. Like swapping knights.
All right. He's still swapping. I'm trying to get him to stop swapping, but he's still swapping.
I don't like knights.
I don't like knights either, but I don't swap them. I push them away, out of the way, side of the board or in the corner or something like that. So I've chased him away. Because if that knight's not there, then my knight can sit on D5 and dominate the board. Okay, so he ran away. Now he's going to fork me on B6. So obvious move. What should I do to stop that?
Queen to B7.
Nope.
Wait.
What did we just say we're trying to do?
To B8.
Now, but he's still fork. Oh, well. Now we're trying to put our pieces on good squares, but he's got a threat. Can we do both? Can we put a piece on a good square and stop the threat? Bobby's seen it. Max has seen it. Everyone's yelling at you.
Why can't I find it?
Knight D5.
Yes, sorry.
Right. So we're putting our knight on the ideal square in the middle of the board, and we're stopping that knight B6 rubbish too. So that's good for us. We've put our knight in a good square. His knight's now on a bad square. All right. So he plays rook to C1. Not quite sure why. All right, guys, Daniel, I think, needs a bit of help here. So we're trying to guess my move. So we're trying to improve the placement of our pieces. So you type in, what would you do for black here? No one. Oh, here we go. Ryan's gone bishop F6. No one else got any ideas? Ryan's the only one with a move. What's your preliminary thought, Daniel? Can you think of a good move? Resign from Callum. B takes A3 from Kevin. Rook D B8 from William. F5 from Sam. Any of those appeal to you?
Don't know.
Don't know. Right, so we're trying to put our pieces on good squares. So give me some candidate moves. Show me a piece that can go onto a better square.
Maybe rook A to B8.
Rook A to B8, so that'd be better than probably on the A5. Yep. Any other suggestions?
Bishop to F6.
Right, the bishop will be better on F6 than it is on E7, isn't it? So that would be good. Any other suggestions? So a knight's in a good spot. What about this rook on D8? Are you happy with it there, or you want it somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm happy on it there for now.
All right, people, Max has gone Queen B7. Most of you, I think, went for Rook D B8. No, actually you didn't. William did, Rook D B8. The others are putting Rook A B8. Okay, so one of the standard things we do is if we're pushing a pawn or playing in an area, we put our rooks behind the pawn we're pushing. Because we might get an open file or we might get a pass pawn and stuff. So my rook on B8, it wasn't going anywhere because we love that knight there. It's not on a good spot anymore. So let's put it on the B file. So that's where I chose that. All right. He now comes along. He puts his rook there. Okay. We're back again. So you guys better keep helping Daniel. He's got his knight on a good square. He's got his rook on a good square. What move should he do now? So we're trying to put our pieces on better squares. We're trying to build up, make our pieces cooperate. Callum's going bishop F6, which we said before wasn't too bad. William going bishop F6. Any thoughts, Daniel? They're not coming with much of a response. So Ryan's gone bishop F6. I think I've got them all stumped. Kevin's going F5.
Maybe.
F5's interesting. It's sort of a bit attacking for me, though.
Maybe rook A6.
Ryan's gone Queen B7. Heath wants to take the bishop. Heath, you want to give up my lovely knight on d5 for that big pawn on e3? Oh. He says yes. All right. Well, I'm not getting through to Heath, but I'm trying. Come on, we need a build-up move. No one has suggested my move yet, I think.
Okay, 7 maybe.
Someone's gone b3. Could go b3, but...
Okay, 7 maybe.
Okay, 7. We might have to sit here all night till someone finds my build-up move. Queen b7, rook bb7, bishop h4, queen a7. So where am I playing, Daniel? Where is the play on the board?
In the center and on the...
And the centre's sort of stuck at the moment.
Mm.
Where's the fluid play where things might be happening?
Queen side.
And which particular file? The A file, the B file, the C file, the D file, whereabouts?
Around close to the C file.
I reckon the B file, because I could push that pawn, I could swap, he could swap, that sort of thing. So, a move no one guessed, I think. Nope, no one at all guessed it. Terrible. So, rook b5. So, why would I want to play rook b5? Can you explain it now that you see it? I'm preparing to... what do you do with your rooks?
Double them up.
I'm possibly preparing to double rooks, because we want to maybe open that B file and get in, or put pressure on pawns or stuff like that. And it's just a handy little move protecting everything. So, white went chop. Now, do we take with the pawn, the knight, or the rook? So you guys help Daniel out again. Should he take with the pawn, the knight, or the rook? So Ryan's going knight, Ryan's going rook, Max is going knight, Bobby's going pawn, Sam pawn, Callum knight, Jason pawn. We're getting a lot of differences again, are all over the shop. What do you think, Daniel? What should we go?
Pawn.
Pawn. Wouldn't that block our rook? He'd play b3 and it's all blocked up. So I'm going rook. Now my rook's all active and aggressive and stuff.
Yes,
There'd be no point with the knight because it'd just be a temporary attack on the queen. So he plays b3. All right, what can we do now? Any candidate moves? We're building up our pieces, putting them on better squares. We've got our rook on a good square. We've got our knight on a good square.
Rook A to B8.
Rook A, B8 is probably pretty good. I decided to go the bishop F6 line. So I'm putting a bit of pressure on his D pawn, just in case his bishop wants to come to D2 or something and annoy my rook. He went there. Okay, what are we going to do now? We're building up. We've got a knight on a good square, a bishop on a good square, we've got a rook on a good square.
Maybe queen to B7.
Queen to B7. I like doubling the rooks. So now that knight pawn's attacked. So he's got to defend it. All right. Now, I think the $1 million move. Black to play. Can anyone guess Black's next move? We've got our pieces well placed. We've got him under pressure, but we haven't won anything. We haven't broken through. What can we do? Mitch is going knight takes E3. Callum's going queen B7 to triple on that pawn. That looks pretty impressive. Anyone else want to suggest? What can Black do? Rook takes A4. Could do that, but it doesn't quite work. Maybe a bit later. Joe's going rook takes A4. No one's come up with my move yet. Anyone else want to suggest something? Daniel, can you help them? Our pieces are on good squares. What do we do now?
Not sure.
Sure. All right, let's have another talk to Lachlan. You there still, Lachlan?
Yeah.
Can you get near the microphone? We can hardly hear you.
I've got headphones on.
All right. Are you with us now?
Yep.
Right, now, I gave a talk at the camp in Hobart, a very exciting lecture. What was the topic?
Boring chess.
How to play boring chess. And what happened? You played boring chess, and what happened to your opponents?
They self-destruct.
They self-destructed. So if you were black in this position and you wanted to play a really boring move to make your opponent self-destruct, have you got any thoughts on what you could do? Because everything's pretty nice. You've got him under pressure, but he hasn't collapsed or anything. No idea?
No.
All right, good try, thank you. Well, I'll show you what I did. I played h6. Why would anyone want to play h6, Daniel? Isn't it a waste of time?
Mate, an escape square maybe.
Yeah, it's just a little handy move. Giving my king an escape square. I'm waiting to see what my opponent's going to do because he's the one under pressure. And you know what he did? He said, I resign. I said, why did you resign? Why did you resign? What's going on? And he said, because I don't know what to do. So we've made the position so boring. If you have a look at this position, look at black's pieces and white's pieces compared with about 10 moves ago when we started. It was pretty even Steven before, but black's put his pieces on good squares. White's got all defensive and a bit of a mess and he didn't know what to do. So what I'm suggesting to you guys is have a think when you're playing. Don't just go for attacking or swapping bishops for knights. Try and think, can I put my pieces on good squares? Make them cooperate, and that way you'll do pretty well. All right, now, just before we go, next week I think we have Ethan coming in, so that'll be interesting for Ethan and me. He's only a young guy who was at the camp in Hobart as well, so I look forward to seeing Ethan. This Sunday is the RJ field. Some of you put your name down already. Looks like it's going to be a pretty big field, but if you're not doing anything on Sunday, we'll be very pleased to see you guys come along and play some chess and get your rating up. I'll be there with my pad trying to record some of your games, and if there's anything interesting, we can show them on these lessons on a Thursday night. So that's the end of tonight's lessons. Thank you for Daniel for coming along. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and we'll see you all next week.
Robert.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.